Good evening, viewers and listeners of Concerned Citizens Media. Thank you again for coming back. I always appreciate your presence. Today is December the 3rd, 2022. I have several news updates for you. I will start with World Cup Qatar 2022. So, unfortunately, the United States team didn't qualify for quarterfinal. Netherlands upset the United States team with a 3-1 scores. So the United States is out, and also Argentina beat Australia 2-1. So Australia is also eliminated. And the teams we have, Ghana and Cameroon, also out. Cameroon, beat Brazil, maybe the first African team to beat Brazil, but due to the point in the group, Cameroon and Ghana out of this quarterfinal. So they didn't qualify for quarterfinal. So these are some of the teams didn't qualify for quarterfinal. Ghana, Cameroon, Uruguay, USA, Serbia, Australia. So these are the teams. Some of the teams didn't qualify. So our two Africans are out. The other bad news is Pele, the king of football or the king of soccer, is battling with colon cancer. So he's in a very tough situation, according to the news I got. It says Brazilian football legend is battling with colon cancer. So Concerned Citizens Media wish him a recovery from this serious disease. So he's in intensive care. So still we have our two African teams, Senegal and Morocco. Senegal and Morocco still there. So you need to make a time to watch their game. They will play Senegal, let me see, on December 4, tomorrow. December 4 tomorrow. Senegal plays England. And December 6, Morocco versus Spain. So, but for Sunday, get ready to watch Senegal and England. Then one more team, Morocco and Spain. The other match ready for tomorrow, France versus Poland. And December 5, Japan versus Croatia, and Brazil versus South Korea. So, and the Qatar 2020 will continue until December 18, 2022. So you can enjoy these games by streaming through Fubo, also Vidig TV or YouTube TV or Tubi. I am enjoying TUBI. I downloaded, very clear, nice, no disturbance. So please try TUBI or YouTube TV. You can use different or Charter Spectrum or Eternity, whatever. So, but I'm enjoying the replay. I don't want to pay them for live play, but still I'm getting the same thing. I don't want to see the result first, then I just enjoy the replay by using 2B app. So it's very clean, very clear, no disturbance. Please try. So we're just waiting the two African teams if they're gonna make it to the World Cup. So we have to cheer for them. Senegal, Morocco. The Senegal will be decided tomorrow. Morocco on December 6th. Thank you again. So that's the updates on soccer, and please wish the world soccer king Pele. Pele is not the actual name, but it says, commonly known by this name, but he got a regular name, so I'll find out that one. But this Pele is very famous king of soccer. Is in trouble, in hell's trouble, so please pray for him. Okay, this is from Addis Standard. It says, district court judge, dozens of civilians killed, entire residents of a district displaced in attack blamed on Fano militant in East Wallagga. So Fano militant massacre, genocide, cross-border attack, authorized by regional governments and by federal government with the knowledge of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. Still, they are conducting genocide, atrocities in Oromia region. This is the same thing Abdi Ille used in the past in Somalia region. So now, with the knowledge of federal government, regional government, Fano militants are keep crossing and carrying out genocide in Oromia. Let me read. 2 attacks in the past few days in Kiramu district, East Wallagga zone of Oromia region, killed dozens of people, including Damto Kafalo Gamada, Kiramu district court judge. According to information obtained by Addis Standard from residents, the attacks took place on 25 and 29 of November 2022. Residents who spoke to Addis Standard blamed Amara militant called Fano for the attack. Dabala Fikadu, a native resident of Kiramu district, but whose family has fled from Kiramu district to the neighboring Gida Ayana district due to repeated attacks, and who himself lives elsewhere for work, told that his brother Capitano Fikadu, who lived in Kiramu district for work, was killed in the attack on Friday, November 25. Dabala Fikadu, my brother works in the land administration office of Kiramu district. He lived alone after his wife moved to her family's place with their child due to security problem in the district. According to my information, the Fano militant, who were already armed with heavy weapons, surrounded the Oromia police on the road after receiving information that some of their members were arrested by the Oromia Special Forces and were being taken to Nakamt last Friday. They started shooting at the police and civilians as well, in an attempt to help escape their fellow members who were being taken to Nakamt police station. My brother was killed while fleeing the attack. We were told that he had been killed and buried there the next day, Dabala said. The attack on 25 November killed several people, including members of the Oromia police, Dabala said. The attackers, do not set their target. They shoot not only at the police but also at the civilians. Many people, including my brother, were killed while fleeing for their lives. There are those who fled to the forest and hide in their own homes to save their lives. I don't know the exact number of dead, but I have learned that there are more than 50, he said. 4 days later, more than 20 additional people, including Kiramu District Court Judge Damto Kafalo Gammada, were killed in a similar attack in Kiramu District on November 29. Another resident of the district who fled the attack to Gida Ayana District told Addis Standard. According to a statement by Gida Ayana District Government Communication Office, the attack by extremist Amara militants displaced the entire Oromo natives living in 19 rural villages of the Kiramu district. The displaced are currently sheltered in Gida town of the neighboring Gida Ayana district, the statement added. A resident of Kiramu district who didn't want to be named for security reasons said the militant who attacked the district 4 days ago, Fano, opened fire in an attempt to release the rest of their militant. They shot at Oromia police and managed to release some of their militant who had been arrested by the Oromia police last week. On Tuesday, they opened fire and killed many people in an attempt to free the rest. They had information that many people had escaped by hiding in their homes during last week's attack. So they went from house to house and opened fire on us. Many people, including the judge, were killed in their own homes. I escaped with God's help and entered Gida Ayana. After I got there, I heard that my friend who grew up with me had been killed, he said. In a statement of condolence posted on its Facebook page, the Higher Court of East Walaga Zone accused Amara militants called Fano for the murder of Judge Damto Kafalo Gammada. The Honorable Mr. Damto Kafalo Gammada, judge at Kiramu District Court, was killed at his residence by a group calling itself a Fano. He was a widower who was raising his children by himself. The children were left alone. We are very sad. He was an innocent worker whose work is exemplary. Let the blood of an innocent fight, the statement reads. Meanwhile, the Oromia Supreme Court issued a statement on the case and downgraded the murder as accidental. Addis Standard's attempt to get further comment from the Supreme Court on the murder of the judge were unsuccessful. Asked about the current security situation in Kiramu district, a resident of the district who fled the attack to the neighboring Gida Ayana district said the security situation is showing stability. I heard more government security forces are coming in. The situation is frightening, but nothing is happening now. It seems to be calming down. Attempts by Addis Standard to reach Kiramu District Administrator Fikadu Hunde for comment were unsuccessful as he hung up after picking up his phone. On October 15, 2022, militants attacked 4 villages in Kiramo district, killing several people and burning more than 50 houses. VOA reported mentioning a district government official and residents. Kiramu District Administrator Fkadu Hunde told VOA at the time that 30 people were killed in the attack. He blamed insurgents based in the name of the Amara ethnic group, some of whom lived in the district and some of whom came from Horro Guduru district for the attack. Over the past 3 years, telecommunication services have been largely blocked in 4 regions of Walaga due to ongoing fighting between the Oromo Liberation Army (OLA) and the government forces. As a result, the residents of the region are suffering greatly in a manner away from media attention. Recently, militants from the Amara region and those who have been living in Haro village in East Walaga zone for a long time have been accused by residents and officials of attacking civilians. The government blames Amara rebel militant called Fano and the Oromo Liberation Army (OLA) for the killing of civilians in these zones at various times, while OLA claims that they didn't commit the killings and instead claimed that government forces were involved. So, blaming each other. In the meantime, civilians are paying a huge price under Abiy Ahmed leadership. This tactic was used during Abdi Ile, Somali regional president, when he was in power. He used the same tactic between creating animosity between Somali and Oromia and sending his militia, Somali militia, heavily armed to displace and kill Oromos. So that time TPLF was on power. They ignored it, and maybe they're thinking of advantage of the situation. The same thing is now. Abiy Ahmed is thinking when Amaras and Oromos are fighting, he will have advantages to stay in power. So the same strategy, the same planning. In the meantime, Oromos are paying heavy price. This is cooperation between Russia and Ethiopia. Let me read what it says. Russia to increase cooperation with Ethiopia in info, network security, digital skills. Russia has announced it desires to increase cooperation with Ethiopia in the fields of digitalization, information network security, and digital skills, Ethiopian Ministry of Innovation and Technology said. Minister of Innovation and Technology Bellet Amolla held a discussion with a delegation led by Maxime Parshin, Deputy Minister of Digital Development, Communications and Mass Media of the Russian Federation. According to the ministry, during the meeting, Minister Belleta has asked Russia to continue supporting Ethiopia's digital transformation journey. The minister further said that Ethiopia would like to share Russia's developed experience in digital skills and information network security. Minister Parshin, on his part, confirmed that Russia will work to increase its cooperation with Ethiopia in the field of digital technology, according to the Ethiopian ministry. He further pledged that the Russian Federation will cooperate with the Ethiopian government in improving electronics government services, digital skills, information network security, and similar other areas. The two countries are already working together in various areas of cooperation, including the field of science, technology, and innovation and security, among others. In February this year, a Russian Navy delegation paid a working visit to the Ethiopian Navy General Directorate's office and met with senior officials, including the Commander-in-Chief of the Ethiopian Navy, Commander Waltasa Wacha. During the visit, an agreement has been reached with the Russian Federation Navy to work together in various fields of training to benefit Ethiopia from its experience of the Russian Navy unit. Okay, if it's good for the Ethiopians, for the citizens, it's okay to have, technology sharing, but Abiy Ahmed is using the technology to shut down communication, as he did in the Tigray war, and as he has been doing in Wallagga zone, Wallagga East and West Wallagga. We cannot access what the situation there. Very tough, very tough. He shut down the internet, he shut down the phone communication. He denied international media and the local media. So we cannot know what's going on. But for some reason, still some information is leaking. But he trying his best to shut down the freedom of expression. This is an update on student loan forgiveness in the United States. So let me read. It says, Supreme Court takes Biden student debt relief case, holds program for now. So this program, the plan is estimated to cost $400 billion if it is allowed. President Joe Biden plan would cancel up to $20,000 in debt for millions of people who took out student loans. About 16 million people so far had been approved for the program. So if you take a grant, Pele grant, you will have a chance, for $20,000 relief. If you didn't take any Pele grant, only 10,000. And even that one is now challenged by Republicans, attorneys, and Republican states. Let me continue reading. The Supreme Court said Thursday that it will hear an argument in case challenging the Biden administration student loan debt relief plan, but kept in place a lower appeals court nationwide injunction that prevent the program from taking effect for now. Oral argument in the case were set for February in the order released Thursday. So February 2023, they will start arguing in the Supreme Court. The administration on November 18 asked Justice Brett Kavanaugh to lift an injunction against the student loan relief program, which would cancel hundreds of billions of dollars in a federal debt. The U.S. Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals in St. Louis issued that injunction on November 14 in response to a legal challenge by 6 Republican-led states. Kavanaugh is a Supreme Court justice responsible for handling emergency applications arising from Eighth Circuit cases. This program is necessary to help over 40 million eligible Americans struggling under the burden of student loan debt recover from the pandemic and move forward with their lives, Jen Pierre said. That's a White House press secretary. The program is also legal, supported by careful analysis from administration's lawyers. She noted that the Biden administration last week extended a pause in required payment on federal student loan until after June or until court issued blocks on the debt forgiveness plan are removed. Days before the Eighth Circuit issued its injunction against the debt relief plan, Judge Mark Pittman in U.S. District Court in Texas ruled that debt relief plan was unconstitutional in response to another lawsuit challenging the program. The ruling, which also applies nationwide, likewise remains in effect. Credit for this one, CNBC. So that's the situation. If it is a tax relief for companies or those rich people, those Republican lawyers and the Republican state will not file a lawsuit. But when the government is, thinking of helping struggling borrowers, they come from every angle, challenging the constitutionality plus other excuses and to block the relief. So we will see. We'll see. So we have to wait until maybe February 2023 on this challenge. Religious Freedom Designation. This is from U.S. State Department press release. Anthony J. Blinken, Secretary of State. Around the world, governments and non-state actors harass, threaten, jail, and even kill individuals on account of their beliefs. In some instances, they stifle individuals' freedom of religion or belief to exploit opportunities for political gain. These actions sow division, undermine economic security, and threaten political stability and peace. The United States will not stand by in the face of these abuses. Today, I am announcing designation against Burma, the People's Republic of China, Cuba, Eritrea, Iran, Nicaragua, the DPRK, Pakistan, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan as countries of particular concern under the International Religious Freedom Act of 1998 for having engaged in or tolerated particularly severe violation of religious freedom. I am also placing Algeria, the Central African Republic, Comoros, and Vietnam on the special watch list for engaging in or tolerating severe violation of religious freedom. Finally, I am designating Al-Shabaab, Boko Haram, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, and the Houthis, ISIS Greater Sahara, ISIS West Africa, Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal-Muslimin, the Taliban, and the Wagner Group based on its actions in the Central African Republic as entities of particular concern. Our announcement of these designations is keeping with our values and interests to protect national security, to advance human rights around the globe. Countries that effectively safeguard these and other human rights are more peaceful, stable, and prosperous, and more reliable partner of the United States than those that do not. We will continue to carefully monitor the status of freedom of religion or belief in every country around the world and advocate for those facing religious persecution or discrimination. We will also regularly engage countries about our concerns regarding limitations of freedom of religion or belief, regardless of whether those countries have been designated. We welcome the opportunity to meet with all governments to address laws and practices that do not meet international standards and commitments, and to outline concrete steps in pathway to removal from this list. So that is U.S. State Department, and Eritrea is also in this blacklist. And Isaias is in the blacklist because of his violating religious freedom and arresting religious persons and for other violations related to religion. So he is in a blacklist everywhere. But Abiy helped him to come out from that challenge, from international embargo. Now he is teaching Abiy Ahmed, providing all the guidance to do the same thing, to go his way, whether in a press freedom or injustice, in violation of justice, and all kind of movements and abuses of power and creating conflict between different ethnicities to stay in power, just to stay in power. That's the only reason. And I don't know how long he's gonna live, but he just doing it. And Concerned Citizens Media analyzed all his leadership failure multiple times and called upon him to resign. He is not resigning, so we're just watching after more than 500,000 people killed because of his failed leadership and still dying in Oromia. And all the abuse, rape, genocide, and property damage still enjoying the Arat Kilo, just like a normal leaders, thanks to our parliament, Ethiopian parliament. They don't know. They're just taking their salary, voting whenever the vote comes, cheering up, enjoying their salary. That's the only thing they do. They don't challenge like the parliament in United Kingdom for a simple thing, for just simple thing. Boris Johnson, for partying during COVID-19. It didn't hurt anybody. They challenged him multiple times. They forced him to resign. The lady, for disagreeing with her policy, Liz Truss, forced her to resign. But in Ethiopia, after all this bloodshed, after all these killings and all atrocities, property damage, and still ongoing violence in Oromia, the Prime Minister is still there. That is the challenge, and we just keep watching it. So that's the reading I have for today. Just let's share a couple of videos and end today's presentation. Thank you again.
Massive celebration rocks several streets of major towns in Cameroon after the indomitable Lions thrashed Brazil 1-0 in the last Group G matches in Doha, Qatar on Friday. Cameroon became the first African team to win against Brazil in the World Cup competition, though they will not progress to the round of 16 after ending in the third place in their group matches behind Brazil and Switzerland. To the fans, this was a rare opportunity to beat the Samba boys after skipper Vincent Abubakar's only goal of the game in stoppage time. They honored us and made us very happy despite the fact that we did not qualify. We are really happy to have beaten Brazil. Very happy. Congratulations to the Lions, the staff, especially Vincent
They're just celebrating the achievement.
It's a great victory. We thank the collective. The players proved despite the absence of Onana. They gave their all. They showed that Cameroon is a country of glory. Long live Cameroon. We congratulate the players for their fight. We congratulate President Samuel Eto'o. We congratulate them because they fought to take the victory. We are the only African country to have beaten Brazil. Abu Bakr was later shown a red card after he removed his shirt to celebrate despite having a previous yellow card. Brazil progresses group winners, and Switzerland took the second qualification spot following a 3-2 win over Serbia.
Abu Bakr received
a fight has broken out in Senegalese Parliament after a male opposition lawmaker slapped a female colleague during a budget presentation. Massata Sam walked over and slapped Aminata Grigny
There's a
from
Senegal
the ruling coalition.
fighting in a parliament.
Then threw a chair back at Sam before another lawmaker slapped her to the floor. Tensions between the two parties have been high since an election in July.
Okay, one more, I think.
And Kenya will allocate land to South Sudan for the construction of a dry port in Mombasa to facilitate cost-effective movement of goods from the port of Mombasa to South Sudan. This disclosure was made by President William Ruto when he met South Sudan President Salva Kiir in Juba. Ruto, who made a one-day official visit to South Sudan, accompanied by Roads and Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, held bilateral talks with his host, President Kiir, who called for removal of restrictions that made it difficult for traders from South Sudan to clear their goods. During the meeting, the two presidents resolved that South Sudan traders will have an option of clearing their goods from the port of Mombasa, Nairobi, or Naivasha. The meeting also assessed progress on the construction of infrastructure along the Lapset corridor and peace and security efforts between the two nations.
We also briefly touched on economic cooperation. As you are all aware,
South Sudan President Salva Kiir.
Imports come through the port of Mombasa, and any policy change on Kenyan side with respect to import clearance locations is often felt here in South Sudan.
The government of Kenya has now clarified our position that goods out of the port of Mombasa can be cleared either in Mombasa, in Nairobi, or Naivasha. There are no restrictions on your business, people, and your traders on where they clear goods, contrary to the situation that existed before.
Okay, so that's the relation of Kenya and South Sudan. Just taking a short video from Citizen TV. If you are interested, longer speech, you can visit Citizen TV channel. So that's all I have for today. Thank you for joining me, and please be the voice for those voiceless people in Oromia, and please condemn the cross-border, this coordinated Fano militia attack in Oromia region. And please tell Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and Shimalis Abdisa, this strategy will not benefit you. This is a dead strategy used by Abdi Ile and TPLF time. So please save our people, be the voice for our people, and also pray for Pele to recover. So that's all I have for today. Thank you again for joining me. I will be back with other news updates. And please be safe and enjoy your weekend.